ring custom made by the Jewelry Exchange. 1-carat certified lab diamonds for $99 or natural GIA for $15.98. Amounts are $4.99. Thousands of choices, always the best deal. The Jewelry Exchange, Tussin.
Ah, that's comfy. Hit it.
Feels like no.
Five, a cement. In the middle of the 5, this overturned crash. Live with a traffic jam now.
NBC4 News at 5 starts with breaking news.
To get to that crash in just a moment, but first we want to turn our attention happening in downtown LA.
The LAPD telling NBC4 investigators called law enforcement saying there were explosives inside of a car. Our Macy Jenkins joins live now from downtown LA with the very latest. Macy.
Well, Kathy and Jonathan, we've been monitoring this for a few hours.
into 3 different cars, while in Exposition Park, a tree snapped at its base and totaled a car below.
Usually, around these parts, you can hear, like the wind rattle through the trees. But this time, it was actually my screen. Sleep with the window open, so it was pretty crazy, like the.
That man says neighbors up and down the street rushed over to see what happened. Fortunately, in both Expo Park and the Santa Monica incidents, nobody was hurt.
Let's take you outside right now. This is from our Mount Wilson camera. We've seen it shaking here and there. Meteorologist Stephanie Olmo here with a look at your further.
Yeah, the winds are certainly howling, and they continue to do so this evening. I want to go over some of the wind reports. A lot of it was recorded, or the highest peak winds were actually recorded earlier this morning. But in Malibu Hills, check out your peak gusts over 70 miles an hour. Magic Mountain Truck Trail. This is in the San Gabriels. We're looking at, we saw peak gusts over 60 miles an hour, 51 mile per hour peak gusts in Santa Monica, Palmdale also. And in Monte got pretty gusty earlier this morning, and we're still feeling those winds out there as you check out the current wind gusts at the moment. We're looking at gusts over 25 miles an hour in many spots like Anaheim and Santa Ana. How about Ontario? You're seeing a gust around 43 miles an hour, 30 mile per hour wind gusts in Hemet. Also pretty strong out there in Santa Clarita at the moment. And we talk about wind gusts this strong. This is what we typically see. So tree damage, of course, you're going to see large trees sway back and forth. Also blowing dust, blowing debris, and at times we actually, as you saw in the wind reports, we saw gusts over 60 miles an hour. So when we talk about winds that strong, there's a concern for uprooted trees. So this remains a concern again as we head into the second part of the weekend. We have a wind advisory in effect through Sunday, especially areas west of the Antelope Valley. So we'll have more on the winds and also the heat coming up in just a bit. For now, over to you guys.
Stephanie, thank you. And you can stay ahead of the winds this weekend by downloading our NBCLA app. It gives you access to our First Alert radar where you live, and you can get weather alerts sent straight to your phone.
We're following more breaking news right now. This was in the hills of Laurel Canyon. A fire seriously damaging a home there that carries some serious rock and roll history as well. Neighbors say that a tree came down on a transformer at the top of the canyon and took out power to about dozens of homes. Shortly after that, a house on a steep incline above Oak Court caught fire. The home is known as the place where John Lennon once stayed and that Stevie Nicks was famously photographed out front of.
Have power above ground, and when we have wind events like the Santa Anas, everyone braces for a worst case scenario, and today we had 2 of them happen at once.
Firefighters were able to keep that fire from spreading any further through the canyon. The official cause is still under investigation.
Now to the latest on the war in the Middle East. For the second weekend in a row, Iranian Americans are celebrating in the streets of L.A. Demonstrators waved flags and carried signs in support of the strikes by the U.S. military. It was 1 week ago today when we learned of the initial strikes and the death of the Ayatollah.
We are also getting a somber reminder of the costs of war. The remains of 6 American service members killed during the past week are now back on U.S. soil. President Trump, the First Lady, and Vice President J.D. Vance among those there to pay tribute during a dignified transfer ceremony at Dover Air Force Base. Earlier, the president reiterating his rationale for striking Iran.
They were very close to a nuclear weapon. They would have had one if we didn't do our B-2 hit night hammer. They would have had it 8 months ago. They would have had a nuclear weapon, and, they're crazy, and they would have used it. So we did the world a favor.
For attacks on neighboring countries. He also dismissed President Trump's call for Tehran to surrender unconditionally. We're keeping an eye on the financial markets, too, and at the gas station. U.S. crude oil prices jumped to more than $90 a barrel yesterday. That is the largest weekly jump on record, and national gas prices are up 34 cents a gallon since 1 week ago. And as usual, prices are much higher here in California. The average is just over $5 in L.A. County, up 18 cents from just yesterday. In Orange County, prices are 17 cents higher. Thursday. The Trump administration urging patience, saying the surge will be short-lived.
Now to the 2026 A6 Los Angeles Marathon taking off tomorrow right here on NBC4. 26,000 runners are getting ready to lace up. The marathon starts in about 14 hours from now over at Dodger Stadium. Our Annette Adiola checked in with some of the participants as they made their final preparations.
3, 2, 1. A little warm-up before the main event. LA Kids Run kicking off the festivities this morning at Dodger Stadium ahead of tomorrow's LA Marathon.
It's my first marathon. I'm so excited and nervous.
The energy echoing through Chavez Ravine as runners flock to the Marathon Lifestyle Expo.
Last year at work, my whole I was like, I'm going to do it this year.
Picking up those running bibs was a must for every participant, along with shopping for some last-minute merch, posing for photos, and checking out those coveted marathon medals. Runners also got to see the route they take tomorrow.
Thinking,
Evie and Sal Medina trying to strategize, selecting a cheering spot and where to meet up after the race.
My goal is to take it all in, just to kind of see it all and remember it all and create, core memories and just enjoy.
A grueling 26.2 miles and the countdown to the starting line has now begun.
Nerve-wracking. I didn't run as much as I wanted to train for this one, but God's gonna lead me the way and finish the crossing line. So just with God's strength, I'm good there.
At Dodger Stadium, Annette Arriola, NBC4 News.
Good luck to everyone participating tomorrow. And coming up on the NBC4 News at 6, if you think 26.2 is hard, try training while also having school.
Honestly, when I have a bad day, I do look forward to running, even though that sounds crazy.
We will be introducing you to some of the thousands of students running this year. Hear their reasons for signing up and what the race goes far beyond the finish line.
Marathon Sunday means plenty of road closures too. NBC4's Robin Winston helping you steer clear of any potential jams.
There will be dozens of street and freeway on and off ramp closures along the LA Marathon route. So expect traffic delays from Dodger Stadium all the way over to Century City. Rolling closures are expected as early as 3 a.m. and will last until 6 p.m. We've highlighted some of those streets and freeways right here on the map. You should avoid areas like Sunset, Hollywood Boulevard, Santa Monica Boulevard, and Sepulveda. These streets will be blocked off along the race route. This is also going to impact your drive on freeways like the 10, the 110, and the 405. So let's take a closer look. Travel 405 on Sunday, rolling south to exit at Santa Monica Boulevard or delays there. A portion of the 110 blocked off ramps like Stadium Way and Temple from the northbound side will be closed. On the southbound side, you cannot exit at Hill, Stadium Way, or Sunset because of the race. And if you're hopping on the 101 on Sunday, expect delays in both directions as the Spring, Grand, and Highland exits will be closed northbound. And on the southbound side, you will not be able to exit at Broadway, Highland, or Hollywood Boulevard. Let's talk about Metro. That's always an option for you. If you don't want to drive or deal with the traffic or parking, you can always hop on Metro. There's the B line that'll give you access between North Hollywood and Union Station. If you're traveling anywhere from Union Station